Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts playing as the Japanese Empire, and we need to finish up against the Chinese. We need to knock them out of the game. I'm sick and tired of seeing this yellow. I just want to get rid of it. I'm also sick and tired of seeing this blue, and this orange, and this reddish brown, and this black. I'm sick and tired. It needs to be all a really nice brick red. Just need brick red everywhere. So anyways, guys, let's get into it, and I hope you guys are having a good day. I can say for a fact that I am very tired. The past few days, been staying up a little later than I should. 7 days to die is a little addicting. So yeah. Let's just check things real quick. What's our diplomatic situation? Perfect. Fucking phenomenal. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see everybody basically liking us across the board so we can keep them off our backs as long as possible. So we got 5 more turns, 73% chance. Is there anything else I can bring to the field? The Congos are almost ready. Almost, but they're not going to be here in time to do this. Let's hope we can get it. 73% chance. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's not negligible. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about... What do I want to talk about today? What do we want to talk about today? You know what? Let's talk about probably one of the most notable classes of ship from this era, and that would be the Congos. Let's talk about the Congos. Let's talk about the Congos. Now, the Congos are actually of a British design. I do not remember. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, cool. I just had to check this real quick. Is it just... Okay. Sorry, I had to look up the ship that would actually be the spiritual sister to the Congo sisters. The HMS Tiger. So the HMS Tiger and the Congos, they would share a lot of similarities. Being designed by Vickers, by one George Thurston. Pretty sure that's how you say his name. The Congos, across the board, were probably some of the most advanced battlecruisers of this era. Would they eventually be the biggest or the baddest? No. But across the board, when it came to overall firepower, when it came to overall capabilities, the Congos and the Tiger would actually be quite notable, because it's very seldom that you run into a class of ship that is capable of kind of just doing a little bit of everything. So the Congos later in their lives would be reclassified as battleships. This would be in the 1920s. When the London Naval, or not the London Naval Treaty, actually, was it the London Naval Treaty? Yes. It's the London Naval Treaty. Because the Washington Naval Treaty, they were good. Under the London Naval Treaty, they weren't. They had to be reclassified. But they were reclassified as battleships. The Hiei herself, actually being, to avoid being scrapped, was turned into a training ship. So she was decommissioned, her weaponry was removed and everything, and she was just used as a training ship at that point in time. So she couldn't do any combat things, but she could do the other fun stuff. They're actually progressing here. Damn. The army's actually doing something useful. Oh, they started another attack. But the Congos, being armed with 14-inch guns, would actually be quite suitable for ship-to-ship combat, as most battle cruisers of this era started mounting bigger guns. So kind of the idea that battle cruisers had. They were meant to fight cruisers, but have the armor to be able to be protected against those cruisers. Easily kill the cruisers while being protected from the cruisers. Now, in the case of against battleships, battle cruisers really couldn't stand up. We would see this in the Battle of Jutland, for example. One of the greatest examples of battle cruiser combat was the Battle of Jutland, which, well, if you know anything, it didn't go too well for the Brits. I don't remember the exact number of casualties that they took, but it was pretty horrendous. Actually, let me see if I can look that up real quick. Losses. So the Brits. Now this might not sound like a lot, but hear me out in a second. Losses: 3 battle cruisers sunk, 3 armor cruisers sunk, 8 destroyers sunk. Versus the Germans, 1 battle cruiser sunk, 1 pre-dreadnought battleship. So a pre-dreadnought, not even a dreadnought, a pre-dreadnought. 4 light cruisers and 5 torpedo boats, amounting for an overall estimated tonnage of just over 113,000 for the Brits and just over 62,000 tons for the Germans. Now, one of the advantages that the that the Brits enjoyed in this engagement was 28 dreadnought battleships, 9 battle cruisers versus 16 dreadnought battleships versus 5 battle cruisers. So, effectively speaking, the Brits had a 2-to-1 advantage and still effectively lost the battle. Now, of course, this would be considered not really a loss for the Brits. Strategically speaking, the Brits did win. Tactically speaking, however, the Germans technically lost. And the reason being is because the Germans didn't want to risk any more battleship losses or battlecruiser losses. And that tepid nature, unfortunately, I think is what actually screwed them a little bit, funny enough. All right, they're about to commission. Very nice. Now, the Congos would not actually see any action, if I remember correctly, in World War I. Let me confirm this. Do not believe any of them actually saw action. Yeah. Yeah, no. Congo did not see any action. Hiei did not see any action. Hiroshima did not see any action. And Haruna... Haruna did not see any action. Okay, so I was pretty sure that none of them saw action. I only, if I'm correct, not even the Kawachis, I think, saw action. Actually, I think the Kawachis might have been at the Siege of Tsingtao. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure they might have been. Actually, let's check that real quick. Because we really didn't actually we haven't covered the Siege of Tsingtao yet. But I'm actually curious just for the sake of this. Yes, the Kwachi did in fact see action at Tsingtao. Okay, cool. Or as the Chinese people in the audience might want me to call it, King Tao. But the again, being armed with 14-inch guns, which is generally of this era, that was generally speaking the armament of most ships at this point. I believe, because the, if I'm correct, it went, you had a lot of battle cruisers armed with 14-inch guns, and then a lot of the battleships started getting armed with 15-inch guns, and then, of course, the Nagato, which, this is why I like the Nagato so much, was the first ever ship armed with 16-inch guns. Now, technically 16.1, I get it, 16.1, but 16-inch guns. Closely followed behind by the Colorado class battleships from the United States, which, aesthetically, I really like that era. Like the Nevada, the Colorados, the New Mexicos. I really like that era of American dreadnought battleships. The Wyomings and the New Yorks have a place in my heart, but it's that era after that. Yeah. But anyways, the Congos, again, they would not go on to see any action in World War One, but would go through a significant reconstruction going into being classified as battleships. If I remember correctly, I don't think they received any armor upgrades. They did. They did receive slight upgrades to the armor. Okay, slight upgrades. But would see their anti-aircraft battery fully redone. Because, mind you, this is the era... Oh. What? How is China still around? China, do you have a random port somewhere? How? I'm confuzzled. Are they literally gonna just collapse next turn? Well, you know what? let's go home. Actually, we can pop these guys in here. The Kawachis can go here. The reserve fleet, we'll send them here. And then the Setsumas can go back to Yokosuka. And then our other two battle cruisers, we will send them to Tsingtao. All right, cool. So hopefully they don't have a random port somewhere that I don't know about. I'd prefer they just fall apart. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Yay! Now it's just a barren wasteland. Alright, well, that's the Chinese eliminated. We do need to take Korea. I would really like... The Republic of China is no more. And we can also potentially pick up some of those allies that they had. Alright, real quick. Really didn't actually sustain that much damage, apparently. Real quick, okay, but the Congos, they would eventually get their rebuild, which would turn them into what would be classified as fast battleships. Mind you, the U.S. was the one to really push the envelope with the fast battleship concept. The Japanese would kind of copy this concept when rebuilding the Congos. And as a design philosophy, it's actually a really, really good idea. A lot of people, they might be drawn into thinking like, oh, hey, you can't do a fast battleship. You need, heavy armor and stuff like that. But in reality, when you're talking about naval combat, it's actually pretty imperative that you just make things as fast as fucking possible while having good enough protection that a you know, a stray shell can't just detonate things, and which is what ended up, you know, screwing over the Congos later because, well, airdrop munitions are dangerous, very dangerous, and that's why the Congos would see their anti-aircraft batteries completely redone and reconfigured, improved considerably. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people, they like to talk shit about the 25 millimeter anti-aircraft guns that the Japanese used. While I can see why people think they suck, as I've explained before in other videos, this is kind of related to, you know, way back stuff. The 25 millimeter, it wasn't a bad round. It wasn't a bad gun in the sense of it was bad. It was just not a fast enough fire rate for something like a 25 millimeter. Not long range enough for being the basis of your anti-aircraft battery. One of the main things that made the 40 millimeter Bofors so good, and why everybody fucking used the 40 millimeter Bofors, is because of its long range capability. It was a medium range, so you have three ranges of anti-aircraft battery. You have your long range, medium range, and short range. The 25 millimeter falls within that short range capability. The 40 millimeter falls within that medium range capability, and then the 127s, or the 5-inch dual purpose batteries, fall into that long range capability. And that is kind of what screwed the Japanese over, is because they were so over reliant on the 25 millimeter guns as their anti-aircraft battery, and not nearly putting enough into medium range capability. Now, there was also another thing that was to be the detriment of the Japanese, and that was a fuse. It's kind of sad when you think about it. Little things like this can really determine the outcome of a war. But it was the proximity fuse that the United States managed to develop and perfect during this time period, or, well, during the World War II era specifically, which allowed their munitions to go off when they needed to go off rather than being contact fuses, which is what the Japanese were primarily using in this time period. Now, the Japanese had started working on proximity fuses prior, but they really hadn't perfected it at that point in time. All right, and we're about to get all 4 Congos. This is kind of awesome. We're looking pretty slick. I'm thinking we're looking pretty slick right now, Chief. Real quick. Send these bad boys over here real fast. So, we are about to have our 8-8 situation going on, except not. So we have another ship that we do need to figure out. So let me go ahead and find these real quick. I do not know if we'll be able to build her. So going into 1912, we have another ship that would come onto the scene, that being the Fuso. Now, the Fuso was kind of interesting in that it had the same armament as the Kawachi, but it didn't have it in the same layout. So real quick, okay, so we can mount 2 of them, but I think we need 3. Okay, so we need to focus, okay, and we can't mount 6, so we need to focus this hard. We're still on Dreadnought 1, though. So that's kind of good, because we can focus getting that. So the Fusos were armed with 6 twin 14-inch guns. A very, very heavy battery of this time period. This is analogous to the Wyomings and the New Yorks, where the Wyomings had 5 twin 12-inch batteries, which, mind you, notably smaller than the Fusos. And I believe the New Yorks had 14-inch guns, if I remember correctly. and they had 6 batteries. Now, the key thing about the Fuso, however, is the Fuso was faster than the New Yorks. 23 knots versus the standard 20, was it 20 or 21 knots that the American battleships used, or Dreadnoughts used at the time. I believe it was 21, but it could have been 20. I don't remember. Okay, so research. Let's go ahead and start doing gun layout. We're going to focus this hardcore because we need 3 times superimposed guns and we need 6 times large centerline guns. We need to focus this big time. We're also going to go ahead and we're going to pop a focus on engines real quick. We're about to get steam turbines. Yes. The first big weight savings that we'll get with our ships. And we are going to go ahead and we are going to... well, you know what? We'll maintain them for right now, just for tonnage sakes. But we will get rid of the Shikishimas and the Sumas. Light cruiser wise, yeah. Well, we're not due to build the Tenryos for a bit, so we still got some time on that. Have we? Okay. So let's check these, make sure everybody, Kasagi's, Nataka's, let's make sure everybody gets their refits. Kamikazes, yeah, we're still plenty fine. Samas. Ooh, okay. So this is definitely going to put us over. But not by much. So let's go ahead and do 4 and 4. Do them in 2 batches. And then, of course, we have the Congo. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get some refits done for the other ships as well, because we definitely need the Jakumas to get a refit. But yeah, the Fusos were very much like the quintessential super dreadnought of this period. A lot of people, they might believe that the super dreadnoughts weren't all that great. USS Texas would like to have a chat with you. Simply because other dreadnoughts had basically taken the what's the term I'm looking for? Had taken the fore. They had taken the spotlight. For example, the Queen Elizabeth class, the Bayerns, the Nevadas, the New Mexicos, the Colorados, all these ships, because of their overall design, had taken the spotlight from these older style of dreadnought. But one of the things is that when you are staring down the barrel or staring down a battery of 6 times 2, that's 12 14-inch guns, that's a pretty scary battery, to say the least. It's pretty terrifying. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Nice, we got Mark IIIs across the board. Let's go ahead and... Now, you might be wondering, okay, why am I doing this before I'm not getting steam turbines first. On these older ships, I'm doing this as like a general refit. Actually, you know what? I should probably wait. Range-wise... because I want to try to maintain some decent range on my ships. All right. Now, because we're also starting to get into the era of higher, we're getting into the mid-game with, Crep 2, Crep 3, Crep 4, in that era, I'm going to start using base fuses on my capital ships. Basically, let me explain this to you guys. In the early game, nose fuse is your best friend for your big guns because you don't risk over penetrations unless it's a torpedo boat, for example, and the round just rips through as it's detonating, and it just crashes out the other side, and the explosion happens on the other side of it. But if the ship has any armor whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Base fuses, once you start getting inside, once you start getting decent armor protection, base fuse becomes the best. And then later game, like late game, that's when you can start using this stuff for your high explosive. For the cap shells, I do the best AP I can possibly do. Now, in the case of this, a lot of people keep making comments. You know, oh, you're forgetting about the max HE. This is the lowest I like going, unless I'm like decidedly in the late game. Then I'll go standard ratio. I will never do max AP or increased AP. These three are the ones that are the best. Because here's the thing. Your capital ships are not going to be fighting capital ships all the time. They're going to be fighting smaller vessels a lot. I can also replace the smokestacks. Cool. Get a little more engine efficiency. They're going to be facing sub-capital ships a lot. And as such, it's kind of important to be able to actually kill whatever the fuck you're shooting at. And thus, this is kind of where I like to go with this. These are not by 45. But I can't get them any bigger than that. Alright. I think that's a good little tech upgrade. Yeah, I think she's good. I think she's good. We're gonna be keeping these ships around for at least a good while. The Satsuma with its ridiculous 10-inch batteries. It's kind of hilarious, to be honest. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that's good still. Replace these funnels. Cool. Your firing arc is slightly messed up because of that. So let's fix it. There we go. Let's fix that firing arc. Make it so that they're able to do the business. Oh, we got Citadel too? Did it let me put Huh. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Yes, let me put an inner belt on you. Let me do it. Let me do it a long time, yeah? ASA. Alright, cool. That's good to go. Oh, don't take a shit on me, game. Thank you. Now the Abukis. Now, I would like to point out the Abukis have been actually pretty freaking decent. Like, I'm actually really glad I built these. I'm actually really glad I built these. Any better funnels? Nope. Okay. Why are these badly placed? And actually, this inner belt's going to help them a lot for protection. I just thought about that. That's actually going to help them a lot. Like, these are actually going to be quite viable for... Like, frankly speaking, and this is the thing with the Ibukis, is the Ibukis were obsolete when they were built. They weren't considered battle cruisers. They were considered heavy cruisers by design parameter. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's nice getting some of those spicy upgrades. Make them just a tad bit better. Oh, there we go. There we go. Those are the kind of guns we like. Oh, yeah. Those are nice. Nice. All right, and then upgrades. We'll probably go a little hog wild on these upgrades. Base fuse. Radio. Coincidence 2. I'm pretty sure the Chikuma actually had mines on it. Alright, and then go like that. Add a little extra protection to them. We'll just max out the length of the guns to just use up some more of the displacement that we've got. And these guns are just going to prove so much better than what we had before. And they just look good too. They just look good. Oh man, the game's chugging right now. Holy crap. Bum 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 bum. All right. Alright, I'm willing to sacrifice some of the inner belt just to be able to have the extra anti-flooding protection. Can also shave some weight here just to even it out a little bit. Awesome. Alright, and that handles tech upgrades for all of our ships. Across the board, I think I'll hold off on doing any more refits or anything to these ships from this point on. And everybody, take a drink. Girlfriend texted me. All right, so cool. Those are going. We got plenty of upgrades to do. We're going to save these blueprints for right now, and if we get any minor allies that want to order stuff, we will let them. Actually, we do have... oh, we picked up Belgium from China. Nice. Awesome. So hopefully Belgium actually wants to order some stuff. That would be schnazzy. So we are dealing with... We actually have quite a considerable fleet now. It took us some time, but I think we got a pretty considerable fleet. I think we got a pretty nice fleet going. We like that. All right, so again, we need to work on gun layout. We also need to work on... let's focus armor quality first, and then we'll work on hull strengthening after. All right. So we go ahead and queue these back up. Good to go. And then refit the Katoris. Yep, looking good. Looking very good. Now, if the Army can potentially start taking all this ex-Chinese territory, that'd be great. Hey, fuck off, Soviets! Fuck off! Get out of here. You're not allowed to take territory. I'm the one that takes territory. God damn it, Army. Get on it. Don't let the Soviets fucking lay claim to all this shit. That's good population and GDP going to waste. Damn bastards. How dare they take territory that's rightfully mine? Alright. 3 times superimpose large guns. Very nice. Alright, so exactly what we need. We just need the 6 times guns, and then we're good to build the Fusos, which is going to be awesome. Alright, and then we are commissioning those, so let's go ahead and queue up. Actually, let's queue up the Ibukis first. I think that should still keep us under. Yep, cool. I just want to have some wiggle room so that I don't have any issues with being over. But yeah, our 6 battleships, or 6 dreadnoughts. Again, the Fusos, we'll build those as soon as we can. Also, there was a comment or a question on the... I completely forgot about this. There was a question on the last video if I was going to build all 3 of the intended Yamatos, or if I was only going to build the 2. Yes, I will be building all 3 of the Yamatos. I've already decided. I mentioned this earlier in the series. I hope I did. I probably didn't now that I think about it, because I'm just an idiot like that. But I do intend to take the ships that were converted into aircraft carriers, because we don't have aircraft carriers in this game, and making battleships out of them. So I do intend on doing that. So do not worry. You will see 3 Yamatos steaming out, ready to fuck shit up. Don't worry whatsoever. The scourge of the high seas, the Yamato class super battleship. Such a good looking ship too. Like, I honestly speaking, aesthetic wise, I do like the Bismarck more than I like the Yamato or the Iowa. But you cannot say the Yamato is a bad looking ship whatsoever. Like, it is a nice ship. Very nice, very nice. All right, and politics-wise, okay, real quick. So who are we going to go after in this? Because we do need to decide. So honestly speaking, the Spanish would probably be, well, actually the French would be the easiest ones to go after first. I do want to wait until I can build the Fusos before I go after them. So, but I kind of also want to go after the Germans first too. Yeah, but the Spanish... What am I looking at in regards to the French? The French, they have a lot of destroyers and torpedo boats and a lot of light cruisers. Not a lot of anything else. They're almost to 1 trillion already. Holy crap. Oh my god, that fucking... That colonial territory, like... French Sudan is 8 billion. 10 billion in Senegal. 12 billion in freaking French Guiana. Oh my god. That's atrocious. What the fuck, dude? Look at that. Oh my god, they have almost double the GDP. Oh my god. What the fuck, dude? Okay, so I have said it before. On a potential basis, France should be the king of the game. Period. End of story. I've said it before, and you have proof right here. 15% GDP growth per month. 1.2 or 15% per year. 1.2% per month. They are going to be a fucking menace. Oh my god. What? Okay. 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 Yeah, I know who I'm attacking. Oh, I know who I'm attacking now. Oh, brother. Brother. Oh my god. Dude! French Polynesia is 3.4 billion. Holy crap. All right. Well. Wow. This is stupid levels. Yeah, New Caledonia, 5.6 billion. Holy shite. All right, yeah, no, we know who we're attacking now. Like we killed the Chinese. We've gotten rid of our main competitor. We're good. Now we need to go kill the French so we can get some of this GDP. Because holy crap. Huh. China, or France, I'm coming for that booty. You might have a bigger fleet than me, but I have more big guns. Oh man. Okay, so we need to finish up these refits, and we need to get on them. They need to die very quickly and very painfully. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tie this up here. I apologize for the slightly shorter video today. My roommate just knocked on my door and asked me if I could take him to work. So, I'm going to go do that. But we're going to tie this up here, and in the next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start going after the French. We're going completely ahistorical at this point in time. Anyways, guys, I love you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.